Guys, we have a leak for Nintendo Switch. According to a YouTube channel, Nintendo Switch is going to be leaked by some bro Nason. A Nintendo Switch all digital model has been leaked. Again, this is not surprising considering the fact that Sony and Microsoft have their own all digital models. But the problem with the Nintendo Switch all digital model, if they do release one, is the Nintendo Switch's storage space. If you look at the Nintendo Switch storage space, you'll see that, yeah, it's not that great. The most you can get, you get 32 gigabytes of internal storage, which seems pretty impressive, huh? But if you look at games like, for example, Witcher 3, okay, which is on the Switch, you can buy Witcher 3 on the Switch. Witcher 3 will basically take the whole amount of Switch space, which is the whole problem of an all digital Switch. You need to have more than just 32 gigabytes. For example, when the Xbox One came out, it had 500 gigabytes. Some computers have 2 terabytes, or the new Xbox and PlayStation have 1 terabyte of space. Meanwhile, the Witcher can take up 32 gigabytes. Or for example, let's look at the Call of Duty, the last Call of Duty, Cold War, and that comes out. When that came out, Call of Duty Gigabyte can occupy over 200 gigabytes. I'm just using this game for example, especially if it is like a Switch Pro console. It can run if if a Call of Duty game releases on quote Switch Cloud, and this game can take up 200 gigabytes of space on your console. Okay, on your console. Yep, 200 gigabytes of space. 181.9 gigabytes of space for Call of Duty Cold War. I know once you complete a game, you likely will delete it. But these big AAA games take up a lot of space. Okay? And I can put Smash Ultimate storage size as well. Smash Ultimate can take up to 16 gigabytes. Basically. Yeah. So if Smash Bros. Ultimate alone takes up half of the size. Now just using Nintendo games. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe takes up 6 gigabytes. So let's just see to install Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Smash Ultimate. You only have 12 gigabytes left. Even new phones have more space than Nintendo Switch does. Okay. And of course, the last one is Pokemon Sword. I'm just going to put Pokemon Sword as an example. Excluding any DLC, 10 gigabytes. So that means you only have 2 gigabytes left, which means you could put like Minecraft or something. And Nintendo games are on the smaller side, so you can fit on the Switch and storage size. Which is probably why Sword and Steel doesn't really have that great textures. Because they have to fit on the Switch's crappy, of course, storage system. I think a way you have to improve the storage system to at least 100 gigabytes. Okay? Most games of the Switch are smaller sized games. Which is probably why most games like Call of Duty, Cold War, and stuff don't come to the Switch unless they get like a cloud version or something. And there are some like questionable decisions, like for example, dying Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 not coming to a physical copy, but Kingdom Hearts, gain a physical port. Even a game, let's look at Final Fantasy 15. Even a game, let's say that skips Switch. Let's look at Monster Hunter Rise. Storage size as well. Another game that's on the Switch as well. And this is the last game I'll be looking at, unless it freezes, of course. It's frozen. Monster Hunter Rise. Not Monster Hunter Rise Deluxe. But yeah, going back to there was a leak if there's all these little Switch coming out, Nintendo needs to improve its storage size. Because I don't go up with the Switch OLED storage space. Okay, the internet is clearly not working. Okay, I think I'm done with this video. Goodbye. But it seems that with the Switch OLED, Nintendo has increased it to 64 gigabytes. So Nintendo will probably increase it to 100 gigabytes if it is a digital only thing, because and let's not forget, you have to also pay your space for DLC and other things. So the Switch or digital console, which will likely come out next year, will probably need more gigabytes than just 64 and 32. Okay. And yeah, we finally fixed the internet issues. We woke up one last thing, Monster Hunter Rise. Yeah. Which will only require 3 gigabytes, so there is no more than 8.8 gigabytes. So Switch games are relatively small on size. Now I think I know why games are not really poor to the Switch. This will get Call of Duty storage size you need to play the game. Goodbye.